On today's episode, what do you do when you first get laid off? Dang it. Heyo! It's the 9 to 5 Misfits back again to help you crush unemployment and find success on your own terms, baby. So it's Misfit Month, and we're kicking off today's topic with very exciting layoffs. Unemployment is scary and confusing, and when you're laid off, there's all sorts of layers added to that. And nobody talks about the real emotional, financial, and career struggles that you have to go through. So we're gonna hit you up with some actionable advice on how to deal.
So first of all, if you're wondering why our background looks different today, it's because we're shooting from Austin.
We sold our wallpaper.
Okay, so let's start with the most overlooked one, the emotional stuff. Layoffs do bring on some strong emotions because there's no transition period, right? It's just so sudden. And especially if you're defined by your work, you feel like your identity is taken. You go through all the stages of grief: shock, anger, betrayal, sadness, guilt. And it's okay to feel all these things, even the guys. Take the time to really process these emotions, whether it's talking to a friend, a therapist, or journaling.
Another thing that happens to you is your confidence takes a huge hit because you feel like it's your fault. You tell yourself, if I was just smarter or if I worked harder to prove myself, this wouldn't have happened. You just feel ashamed or embarrassed because you withdraw from your friends and family and think, I don't want to hear their comments. Especially if it's that Indian auntie Tana marifying on the side. So then your relationships struggle. But guys, it's not all that bad.
Good news, you can absolutely do something about this. Tip number 1, remember it is not your fault. Literally guys, on the Texas Workforce Commission website, it actually says layoffs are due to lack of work, not your work performance. A layoff doesn't mean you got fired. It's a business decision that your company made. So next time anyone comes up to you and is like, oh, you got fired, just be like, no, your mom.
Your mama got fired.
Just kidding. Educate them about what a layoff means or just refer them to this video.
Tip number 2, talk to people. You don't have to shout it out from the rooftops, but isolating yourself will actually make things worse. There are good people in your life that will rally around you. They'll help you with the emotional, financial, practical aspects of this phase, especially if they've gone through it themselves. I mean, who doesn't know someone who's been laid off? Am I right? We imagine that people are saying stuff about us, but actually it's just all in your head. Seriously, getting laid off is not a huge scandal. Don't forget to tap into the power of community.
I know I said take the time to process your emotions and all that stuff,
But you lied.
But there are 2 things to think of immediately. So tip number 3, figure out your health insurance, whether that's through Cobra, the marketplace, Obamacare,
Oh hey!
or if you can be a dependent on your spouse or parents' plan.
Dummy Lauren.
Idiot. Tip number 4, apply for unemployment benefits ASAP. Seriously guys, don't let pride or negative emotion get in the way of this. You have to act fast. Know your options, figure out if you are eligible for unemployment benefits, for how much, and what it's contingent on, whether that's keeping a spreadsheet of jobs you're applying to or taking a class.
Tip number 5, get smart about your personal finances. Oh, if you get a severance package, milk that baby. Be aware of the financial shape you're in. Make a budget, cut costs, cut unnecessary spending, so no more Maseratis for a while. We've talked about some cool budgeting hacks in the past, so do check out that video. But I also recommend reading Ramit Sethi's book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Sounds super scammy, but it's a great way to approach managing your personal finances. You don't actually have to cut down on unicorn lattes.
Tip number 6, add structure to your day. Oh my god, this is so important after a layoff, especially because it's so sudden and you're completely thrown off by the lack of routine. What do you do now with your day?
Watch Real Housewives.
Function like you would at your previous job. Get up at the same time every day, go take a shower, get out of your PJs, and get out of the house if you spend all your time on the couch or in your kitchen. Believe me, this is gonna be a huge lifesaver.
Last but not least, getting back into the workforce. Most people we talk to started job hunting immediately after their layoff. I mean, I get it, you need it to qualify for unemployment benefits, but a huge number of people were going only on that online application route. This is bad. Why is it bad? 1, everyone's doing it. People are vying for the same jobs during massive layoffs, so how are you differentiating yourself going online? 2, you're still making yourself vulnerable to future layoffs, because if you're blindly applying to any job without researching the company, you're probably just going from one dead-end job to another. Don't do it.
Tip number 7, network and conduct informational interviews instead. Also plan for not getting a job right away, in which case you will have to get some supplemental income, either through shared economies, a temp job, or a part-time job. So we have links to everything you need regarding getting a job, getting that supplemental income, everything below.
So that's it, you guys. I hope you found this super useful. I know there's a lot to cover, but if you need additional information, check the description box below, baby. Trust me, guys, we've been through this and we want to make sure you're better prepared. So what worked for you? What didn't work for you if you got laid off? Do let us know in the comments below. Be sure to tune in on Thursday for our Getting Real segment. Otherwise, we'll see you next Tuesday with a brand new 5-minute hack. Bye!